There are some unfound weapons in Modern Warfare Remastered. What is going on with our beautiful game? What's going on, guys? It's Panther here, and let's talk about this real quickly because this is drawing the community and just creating a giant mess. We're all in shambles right now. We're thinking that supply drops are going to be in Modern Warfare Remastered, and that's something that we definitely do not want. So, let's discuss this video. So, just recently, the other day, there was a post on Reddit, and it shows a whole bunch of weapons in Modern Warfare Remastered that were hidden within the code, but he was able to dig them up and actually show them in game. So there were things such as, example, there was a shovel, there was a new fully automatic shotgun, there was a Galil, there was a PP2000, there was the Modern Warfare 2 FAL. There was the 44 Magnum, there was a Striker in there, and, like a new kind of Desert Eagle or whatever. And this has people freaking the frick out. People are just going insane, like, oh my goodness, are they going to introduce supply drops and, bring in more weapons into this? Because, let's be real, that sounds like something Activision would do, right? Like, that sounds like something Money Vision would do, But we're all kind of freaking out, and I'm here to say, you know what? It's okay. It's okay. We all need to calm down. We need to take a breath, and we need to rationally think about this. Now, if you look at the images, I cannot show them on this video because of copyright reasons, but, you can Google them yourself, and they will definitely show up. Just, Google, like, new weapons in Modern Warfare Remastered, and it'll pop up. There's probably a Charlie Intel on it. But if you look at the weapons, they do not seem to be a high quality. They do not seem to be, textured very well. And, to be honest, it looks like it was just ripped out of Modern Warfare 2, some of these weapons. Which, if that's the case, there's no way that these weapons are going to be in the game. They were probably just used for, testing and stuff and trying to find, like, certain bugs in the game, Probably just reuse assets for, like, developer use and testing, That makes sense, right? That would make sense. That's why, all these guns are kind of like a low quality, but, it's kind of confusing to me how they would need to bring these weapons in. I mean, maybe perhaps they had taken the old original code and everything that was used in the original Call of Duty 4 and then brought it into Modern Warfare Remastered, and they just, retextured stuff and kind of changed a couple of things of, like, coding and changed out the menus and stuff like that. But why would these guns be in the code? That's where people are kind of freaking out. And there was, like, this thing where there was, like, a line of code found where it said like loot or something like that, which sounds like a supply drop thing. So that's where people are getting the supply drop idea from. And, people, we just need to kind of chillax. We need to calm down. It's going to be okay. Yes, they brought back COD points in Infinite Warfare, but we all knew that was going to happen. But if they do add supply drops to Modern Warfare Remastered, it has to be cosmetic only, or they are going to start the biggest fire in the community. Infinite Warfare already started a fire, but if they add supply drops and they're going to add weapons into these supply drops in Modern Warfare Remastered, that fire is going to spread to, like, a forest fire, and then it's going to turn into a tornado of fire, and then we're going to have fire sharknado garbage coming and flying down. Like, it will be terrible, and the community will freak out, and I just don't know, man. I'm trying to rationally, reasonably think about this, but, like, there was even a Galil found in the code. Like, a Galil? Really? That has nothing to do with, like, the time frame. Which, if that's the case and the Galil wasn't really in this time frame, that doesn't make sense as to why it would be in the code. Because it was in Black Ops 1 and it was in Zombies in Black Ops 2. People were so confident that it would be in Black Ops 3, but, it wasn't. And if you look at the picture of the Galil, it's textured okay. Like, I mean, I guess it looks good, but if you look closely, you can see that there are bumps and stuff where the polygons aren't smoothed out. It definitely looks like a last-gen version of a gun model in the gun textures. If you look, everything is kind of blurred out and it doesn't look sharp and crisp. So, that kind of leads me to believe that it's not going to be in the actual game, and it's just leftover lines of, like, coding and textures just for testing and all that, just for testing purposes with the developers, because, that's what they do. They'll throw in random things. But the thing that gets me is the shovel, because the shovel looks to be super well textured and really, really well designed, and that makes me question what's going on, because there was even, an inspect element kind of thing for the shovel where you would kind of pat it on your hand. And if they start adding melee weapons into the game, I'm going to have a conniption fit and I'm going to freak out. People say, "Oh, but melee weapons don't change the game. Like, it's just a different knife." No. If you go and play Black Ops 3, there are so many more people running around with melee weapons than there were in previous Call of Duties. Why? Because they just got them. They have all these new melee weapon options. I don't think I've gone into a single lobby where, at least 2 people are using a freaking melee weapon. It's annoying. It breaks the flow of the game, and it's freaking ridiculous. If you are on the team and you get stuck with the people using melees, you're screwed. You're not going to win, because those people are going to end up going like 3-37 and something, and they're going to be the reason the other team is getting score streaks. And, that's my problem. People say, "Oh, it's just a retextured knife. It doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal." It's kind of a big deal if more people are using them than should. Because in previous Call of Duties, I would say maybe only 10%. Like you would go into a game of Call of Duty, and I think you would go through, I would say, 7 games until you find one person going knife only. But in Black Ops 3, it was every lobby, and that is what broke the flow of the game. That is why, if they add in melee weapons, they are making the biggest mistake they possibly can, and that will upset so many people. If they take Call of Duty 4 Remastered, Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered, my bad, excuse me, and they change too much, then it's not a remaster. Because the point of a remaster is to keep everything exactly the same, just with updated graphics. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty much what they've done with it. They have added a couple of new things. Like, they've changed up some of the menus, but that's okay. They've added some new game modes. That's okay. But if they start adding more things and taking away things, like I heard that they kind of want to nerf the M16. I'm sorry. If you nerf the M16, that is not Call of Duty 4, okay? That is not Modern Warfare. That is not the Modern Warfare that everyone grew up loving and playing. That would just completely change everything. And you would, yes, please, like maybe the 20% of people that are complaining, but the 20% of people complaining are the loudest people, because the other 80% that want to keep it the same, of course they're not going to complain. They're not going to say anything about it, because that's what they know. That's how the game was for them, and they don't want their game to change. It's like when you have a kid and you see that kid and you're nurturing the kid, and then next thing you know, you give your kid to someone else, and then the kid comes back a little later on and the kid's like emo and goth now and he's completely changed. That's not the kid you knew. That's kind of what's going on with Modern Warfare Remastered. So if they change up too many things, the community is just going to be, we're all going to be super upset. So leave down in the comment section below what you guys think about this, and I will see you guys in the next one.